All right, so here's what I want to talk about. Here's my content for today. It's this. It's the death spiral that agents get themselves in when it comes to thinking, thought process, mindset. Here's where we get ourselves tricked. We get into where we feel like things aren't working, and we start doing this spiral. We hit some objections, we hit some no sales, we miss some gimmies and stuff that we were normally getting. When these things happen, here's the danger. The danger is to look outward instead of inward. Here's what's crazy, and I tell new agents this all the time. When a new agent makes their first sale, I tell them the same exact thing. If you can do one, you can do a million. And so I always tell new agents, print out this first sale. If it's an electronic app, of course, it'd be easier back in the day when it was paper app, but actually it's easier now, never mind. With an electronic app, print out that front page. Print out that front page of the policy. And I want you to do this. Get a Sharpie and write on that front page of that policy that you wrote. Remember, you called a lead. You worked through the process. You got them to give you their social security number and their banking information. You got them, whether it was in the home or over the phone, you got them to give you enough information for you to become them. You did that. You found somebody that had put off thus far in their life. They had put off, they had postponed, they had procrastinated getting life insurance. Up to them talking to you, they had put that off. Who knows how many people they talked to about it? Who knows how many times they thought about it? But up until they met you, your bad to the bone self, up until they met you, they hadn't done anything about it. But you got them to do it. You got them to think seriously about it. You got them to commit to it. Not only did you get them to commit to it and you got through the application because you're bad to the bone and you ain't a scaredy cat, you did the whole solidify step where you pushed it back at them. You did that. The reason I hit this so hard is because if you can do it once, you can do it a million times. If anyone can do it, anyone can do it. See, Adam Burge has issue paid over 1.5 million in annuities thus far this year. He's got another 3 million in. He says he's going to 10 million in issue paid annuities this year. And I'll tell you, here's the God's honest truth. And he will tell you this. Guys, if I can do it, you can do it. If anybody can do it, anybody can do it. If you did it, you can always do it. So what happens? How do we end up in slides and snides, and how do we end up in that stuff? How does that happen? It has everything to do with what we allow to go on in our head. Here's the thing. The danger is this. When we start to struggle, our tendency as human beings is to start to blame. When we start to struggle, we start to blame. That's part of our imperfect nature. That's what we do. Why? Because we all want to be the hero. We all want to be the champion. And so if I'm having a non-championship type season, if I'm having a non-hero day, then by God, there's got to be somebody to blame. There's got to be something to blame. But here's the problem. Blame is a narcotic. Blame is a narcotic. It will make you feel good in the interim, right? But it's going to leave you empty and derelict. It's going to make you feel good in the moment. But then on the other side, when that blame starts to wear off, you're going to reach for blame again. And we've all seen people like that. Not you or me, because you and me, we're trying to achieve at a high level, right? But we all have seen people. They've got a list of blame as long as sunrise to sunset. They can blame people They can blame people, blame things, blame this, blame that. We've all seen that. Have you ever seen a blame addict that is either an achiever or happy? You won't find it. In fact, I'll give you $100,000 if you can show me one. I'd like to see it. I've never seen it. It doesn't exist. So just know that when we reach for blame, we are moving ourselves closer to that low achiever that we don't want to be. Just like, hey, just like, just like every time we order the queso, instead of not ordering the queso, we are moving ourselves closer to that shape we don't want to be, right? Just realize that life is about a trajectory of choice. Our choices constantly change our trajectory. When we reach for blame, when we get into a struggle, when we get into a slide, we're altering the trajectory towards a life that we don't want. We're altering the trajectory that way. And here's the thing. Here's the sneaky part about that. The sneaky part about that is that the trajectory change here, you almost don't even feel it. In fact, most people don't notice it because it's very subtle. It just changed trajectory a little bit here. Where it's abundantly clear that we've changed the trajectory is yet in the future. Because that little adjustment here, extrapolated out, takes us toward the life we don't want, takes us toward the business we don't want. Just know every time we seek external blame, we're changing the trajectory. Do it again, change the trajectory a little more. We don't even feel it, don't even notice it. Change the trajectory just a little more. Then we're 12 months out and we're going, I can't believe I'm here again, right? So that's the danger. Just know that anytime you go into a struggle, anytime you go into a slide, anytime you go into like, that's 3 non-closes in a row. When we reach for blame, we're moving the trajectory towards what we don't want. So what's the concept? The concept is mirror versus window. So when we go through a tough time in the business, the tendency is to look out the window and go, oh, this is why I'm having a bad week. These leads, they're bad now. They were good before because I was selling, but now the same exact marketing concept is bad. It's bad now. It's bad. That's the problem. Or it's just the same. We were doing the same volume previously. Now we're struggling. We go, oh well, it's the market saturated. That's what it is. The market saturated. Let me tell you something. More people quit the insurance industry than join it. I'm just telling you. In any state, you can find the numbers. It's dang close to 90% of the people that get a license today will not do their continuing education the first time it comes up because they've already left the industry. More people leave than come, I promise you. More people are turning 65 than aren't. That market's growing, right? But it's saturated. That's what it is. That's what it is. Oh, you know what it is? It's this CRM. This CRM is stupid and glitchy. I need this CRM, right? We're looking out the window. This script doesn't work. This script doesn't work. It was working. Or if it's a script that is working for others, this script sucks. That's the problem. Okay. The problem is we're always looking out the window with those things. And let me tell you, when you stare out the window, we're staring towards blame, and we're changing that trajectory just a little bit. What we need to do is look in the mirror. In the mirror goes, but Adam Burge is had a record month in record issue paid annuities, personal production, record issue paid annuities this year, and just had a record team production month. So if he can, I can. What is the difference? Yeah, guys, it's no different at any level. If as an integrity partner, I start blaming, I stay where I'm at. When instead I need to go, but wait, that integrity partner just had a record month, a record quarter. This still works. I need to look into the mirror. So when you start to struggle, just know that the tendency is to look out the window. Oh, I actually have windows in front of me. That's in case you wonder what I'm doing. I'm actually looking out a window. The tendency is to look out the window instead of in the mirror. So when we look in the mirror, well, what is it that we're looking at? Here, let me give you some very specific things to look at. What have I let up doing? Guys, that's the one that has bit me the most in my career. That's the one that has bit me the most. Here's how it happens, right? We're new, we're excited, we're doing all the things. We're reading like we're supposed to. We're on the calls. We're journaling. We're hammering the numbers. We are hammering the phones. We're following the system. We're doing all the things that are creating the results. But y'all know what the number one killer of a good diet and exercise program? Y'all know what the number one killer is? The number one killer? Results. And you say, I'm not like that. Once I begin a program, I never ever divert from said program. Okay. I'm fired up that you're perfect. Enjoy. As for me, once the scale give me a little wiggle room, I want to take it, but I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the number one thing when you're looking in the mirror. What have I let up on? What have I let up on from a coaching standpoint, from an accountability standpoint, from a personal growth standpoint? Number one, what have I let up from an activity standpoint? The thing I love about numbers is numbers don't lie. That's what Andy's always taught me. Figures don't lie, and liars always figure. Figures don't lie. Figures don't lie. So, what have I let up from an activity standpoint? What changes have I made? Anybody on staff for me will tell you that I do not allow more than one change to be made systemically at a time, because we're always trying to get better. We're always trying to get better, faster. I mean, I was just on a meeting with Adam Lucas, and that stuff we're talking about. Just trying to get better, faster. But Adam Lucas will also tell you that I do not allow more than one change at a time. Why? You start changing things, and you start introducing lack of predictability into it. Things start to become unpredictable because you're introducing too many changes. So here's what I'm telling you. When you go through a slide, when you go through a slump, look in the mirror, don't look out the window. Even better, get someone to look into the mirror with you. Meaning, get advice, get coaching from someone that's been there, that has seen you perform, and be open to that feedback. Let me tell you something about defensiveness. Being defensive absolutely shuts off growth. Absolutely shuts off growth. Here's exactly what the way it plays out. Defensiveness always leads to decline. Meaning, once we become defensive, our business declines, our mental acuity declines, our abilities decline. Once we get defensive. So when you're looking into that mirror, don't be defensive. When you look into that mirror, want the truth, right? I always love it when people are blaming all these other things that are external. I'm like, I guess we're all just messed over then. If it's all these things we can't control. But as for me, I'm grateful that 98% of my problems are caused by my attitude and my activity. As for me, I'm also grateful that 98% of my wins are controlled by my attitude and my activity. Here's what I'll tell you. Look in the mirror, get to the base. What have I led up doing? What have I introduced that I wasn't doing? When you start answering those questions, how does my actual activity look? Because we all get you put enough activity, you get good. You get good. Because once you start finding those answers, then we can start moving the right way. Think about it like this: system multiplied by mentality and mindset is what produces the results. That's what produces the results. You're the magic. You're the magic. Now, let me give you a resource. And if you have read this book and haven't read it recently, do like I'm going to do. Go ahead and reread it. I'm committing to rereading that. What to say when you talk to yourself. The reason I say that is most people are anti-selling themselves in between calls. While the power dialer's working, they're anti-selling themselves. They're going through all the bad things that could happen. They're going through all the objections that they could get. They're going through all the unfair stuff. My skit on Stage for Success is all about this kind of stuff. I'm so excited. In fact, Tia called me while I'm on here. I'll have to call her back. What to say when you talk to yourself? When you can get your internal dialogue elite, you will perform elite. If your internal dialogue is that of a low performer, you can't outperform bad internal dialogue. You can't outwork bad internal dialogue. And so I say all that to say this, right? Don't try and fix what is an activity and an attitude problem, which is 98% of it, with a system, chasing a new this, chasing a new that, chasing a new this, chasing a new. I'm gonna put all this into this CRM. I'm gonna put all this into these. When you start grasping at that, instead of going to the mirror, you just set yourself up for continued struggle, continued frustration. All right, let's talk about our fourth point. When you feel that this doesn't work, when you feel that thought creeping in, stop trying to fix your whole month. Just fix your next 2 minutes. I'll say that again. When you start to feel a struggle, stop trying to fix your whole month and your whole year. Just fix the next 2 minutes. When you fix the next 2 minutes, you set the following minute up to be a winning minute. And I hope that thought helps you, because with me, when I'm not where I want to be, I start tending to think of all the stuff I've got to do. And really what I just need to do is win the next 2 minutes. If I can win the next 2 minutes, then I can get myself back on track. Get back on track. All right, here's the last area I want to talk about. What I'm going to challenge you to do, actually, no, I want to give you a tool on the previous thing I was talking about. Atomic Habits. If you've not read that book recently, just know that book it's like the code. It's the code breaker. If you buy into that book and just believe that, it's absolute code breaker for you. Absolute code breaker for you. Elite performers have elite habits that are doing the driving. That's why it looks so easy for them. They've got elite habits. Low performers have low performer habits. And the worst part is they don't even think they have habits because they're blind to it. So Atomic Habits, please read that book. All right. So here's the total ownership challenge. The next time I'm frustrated, the next time I'm not where I want to be, here's the total ownership challenge. If I took a top 1% performer and put them in my seat using my tools, would they be in a slump? I'll say it again. If I took a top 1% performer and put them in my seat, would they still be in a slump? Now that's a tough question. It's an easy question to go, well, no, not if they're dealing with it. Okay, I hear you. Then we're all in a mess. The end is nigh. It's over for all of us. I want the answer to be yes with every fiber of my being when I take that challenge. I want the answer to be yes in every fiber of my being so that I can fix it, so that I can adjust it, so that I can begin thinking again at an elite level. So just go think about it and make it a person if you got to, right? If I put Mike Leventovich in my chair, would he be in a slump? If I took Andy Riddle and put him in my chair, would we still not be growing? If I put Adam Burge in my chair, would I still not be writing annuities? Guys, the answer is no to every single one of those. That's a question that I love to use in my life. And I use it not just in business, but in life, right? Like if I put a top 1% in marital performance as a husband, if I put that dude in my chair, would we be thriving at another level? Here's what that question does. It helps clarify, one, where the problem is. Because if the answer is no, that they would not be in a struggle, that they would not be in a slump, then it's not a business issue. It's a mental discipline, habit, attitude, activity issue. The other thing it does is it starts to get your brain thinking on what you need to do. I'll never forget it. When I came on board 26 years ago, I told Andy, I said, bro, if you tell me how the top salespeople hold their mouth, I will hold my mouth exactly like that because I want to win. And as it continues to go, when you look at stage talks, anybody's performing at a high level has simply studied people that are performing at a high level, and they're just replicating those things. They're just duplicating that. That's all that it is. So I hope this total ownership challenge, I encourage you to do it. Encourage you to really think about it. If I put a top 1% performer in my seat, would they have the same level of chargebacks that I have? No, they wouldn't. So what would they do different than what I'm doing? If I put a top 1% recruiter in my chair, would they have higher recruiting numbers than I personally have? 100%. So what would they do? Put on the avatar of the high performer and get busy and get after it, guys. Here's what I know. You and me, we're imperfect. But here's what I also know about you and me. We want to win. We want to win. So here's what I also know. We're capable of doing the stuff that it takes to win. Here's what I also know. We're 100% likely to pull off of those things at times. We just got to put the gas back on. We just got to put our foot back on that gas. We just got to apply ourselves back to those winning principles. I'm just telling you, that's how my life has been thus far. I know if you're willing to admit it, be honest with yourself, that's how your life has been thus far. So here's what we're going to do. You and me, we're going to take the mirror approach the rest of this year. If we look back at the year thus far and we're not happy, which by the way, I'm right there with you. I want our volume to be even bigger, right? I want Brian Adams to be burning up my cell phone because he's just like, you know what I'm saying? I'm right there with you, right? So let's go look in the mirror. Let's find out what we let up on. Let's think through the avatar of that top 1% performer. They were in my seat. What would they be doing? They wouldn't be dilly-dallying. They wouldn't be stretching the activity to fill the time. They wouldn't be, God knows, trying 18 different lead sources and CRMs to try and fix an activity problem. They wouldn't be doing any of that stuff. They would be at the task at hand. They would be doing the quantity of service, the quality of service and the spirit of service that it demands. And that QQS is straight up from Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. If you have not read that book, read that book. You'll get to the QQS part. And I'm just telling you, you can sum up a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about today with that QQS from Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. Guys, Holly and I love you. We want you to win more than you could possibly imagine. I want this team to create a budgetary issue for the Portugal trip, because they predict every year about how many people are going to win the trip. And I want to create a budgetary issue. I want Integrity to have to cut an extra check just because our team goofed up the ratios. That's what I want. I want to celebrate with you in Portugal, guys. Holly and I want to celebrate with you in Portugal. Let's go out. Let's put ourselves to the work with the quantity of service and the quality of service and in the spirit of service that it demands, guys. Let's get out. Let's get after it. We've got some big calls planned over the next few weeks. I can't wait for you to hear the content. Stage of Success, Burlington, North Carolina, last week of the year, theallianceevents.com. Get your ticket, get yourself there. I'm telling you, it is going to be a life and business changing event. You and me are going to go there and we're going to buy 12 months of life back. We're going to collapse those time frames, guys. Let's get out. Let's get after it.